Alright, so I know it's a bit late, but I really don't care right now. I kind of felt like this would be a good topic right about now since my mind's been kind of buzzing about it. I'm gonna pretty much talk about the similarities, I guess you could say, between metalheads and juggalos. And most people be like, really? Like there are? And some people won't see it, but I've noticed this for quite a few years, being both a metalhead and a juggalo. I've kind of merged the two together, and a lot of the things that we do are very similar. For one, we both have a love for music. I mean, you see people, dedicated to ICP, and then you see people dedicated to, heavy metal. No matter what genre of heavy metal it is, you've got your, dedicated fucking fans. And that goes into the next one is dedication for the music that you love, whether it's wearing heavy metal pins or patches, or getting tattoos, or fucking going to every single show, buying every stitch of merch you can find from any band, buying every picture disc LP, and fucking posters, and special edition CDs, and just anything, and the same things with with Juggalos. We love to collect shit. Whether it's the comic books, or Morton's List of Games and the Shangri-La games, fucking the trading card thing that came with the fucking Wicked album from Twisted. Everybody was trying to collect those, and people were trading cards with each other and shit. I still have my Shaggy one somewhere. It's in a box probably, but also tattoos. We're very dedicated to the groups that we love. Um, so there's that. We love going to the shows, and face paint, and wearing shirts, and shit like that. We love collecting shit. It's the same thing for for both of us. So there's that. You know, there's so many things. The way that we act at shows are kind of similar. Everybody kind of has a similar interest. You go to a metal show and you go talking to people about different bands because they're wearing different shirts, and you're like, oh, I like that band. Did you hear this new album, or did you hear this new song, or what do you think about this era of this band and shit like that. I mean, I went to a death metal show and started talking to some kid about Dio. It was pretty cool and pretty interesting. I meet a lot of cool people at metal shows. And then you go to a psychopathic show, you meet a lot of really cool juggalos that are into different things. And you get talking, and maybe you make friends with somebody or some shit. Who knows? But you know, there's that too, and we just have an overall love for what we listen to and what we like, and you know, um, I don't really see a whole lot of differences between besides the fact that it's two different genres of music. You know, Also the negative things that have happened to us. Death metal in the '90s was trying to people were trying to censor it, and Cannibal Corpse got banned in Germany and all that shit, and people were saying that death metal was evil, and then of course black metal scared the fuck out of everybody, and pissed off all the religious people with the church burnings and the murders and all that shit. And then there was even earlier than that, there was the fucking parental advisory stickers being stuck on everything, and Wasp and Ozzy and tons of other, Judas Priest and tons of other, bands were being put on a fucking list of, things that your kids shouldn't listen to, and they all got like ratings, for whether they had vulgar lyrics, or sexual content, or graphical, whatever, violence, whatever. So there's that shit too, and the many different types of cases to go against certain bands like Judas Priest, Ozzy, and a few others that were blamed for they were blamed for suicides and other crazy shit. The West Memphis Three, I mean, that's a big obvious one. And now Juggalos are getting scapegoated for everything. We're fucking blamed for every little thing that happens, and every stupid moronic kid that goes out there and does some dumb shit and happens to like, ICP or something gets blamed for some shit. I mean, that's always gonna happen, and I'm not really, mad about it or bitching about it. It's just kind of, it is what it is, but it kind of sucks that that's the way that it's going, and I mean, Marilyn Manson's a great example of somebody who's been blamed for pretty much almost anything you can blame them for, and also the theatrics of the bands we listen to, Guar, Manson, Alice Cooper, all these stage shows that people have, Lordy, whatever, all those bands, they, all do, theatrical stuff like that. I can keep naming bands, they keep popping in my head, so, I keep randomly saying shit, my bad, but, you know, and ICP and Twisted and Blaze and all of them have their own stage personas and different things they talk about and all this stuff that they do on stage and whatever. You go to an ICP show, you get a fucking show, you get entertained. It's not just two people with towels on their fucking shoulder just rapping. They're throwing fago, they're dancing clowns. There's they're killing people on stage, ripping people's heads off. They're throwing the scarecrow into the crowd. The redneck scarecrow thing into the crowd, get ripped apart. There's all sorts of shit happening. It's not just people just standing there. You know, and a lot of metal bands do that too. They run around and get active with the crowd. They'll grab people. I went to see when I saw Vital Remains last year with Origin and Hate Eternal and all that. They grabbed a lot of people up on the stage and started throwing them into the crowd and shit, and got pretty active with everybody. I've seen Watain live, and I got covered in goat's blood, and yes, it was real. The whole fucking venue smelled like death. It was pretty awesome. They had a rotting goat in the back, and the venue security were all pissed because if somebody walked in there, they could shut the place down because they served food there. So they were just like, yeah, we couldn't let them have the severed goat's head on the stage because we'd get sued for that shit. But it's back there rotting, and it's been there all day. So the whole venue smelled, like rotting flesh. It was pretty fucking cool. And I got covered in goat's blood, so they put on one hell of a show too. They couldn't light the Tridents on fire though, because would have lit the venue on fire because it's a small ass place. But it was still really fucking cool. And I've seen a few other black metal bands live, and they do a lot of theatrical shit too. So they give you one hell of a show also. So those are things that are very similar within juggalo and metal culture, and I don't see why there's so many differences and so much hate between the two. I actually on Twitter earlier, Odorous Orungus was on Psychopathic Radio on Madman Pondo's horror movie thing, and which is a great show, by the way. I'm gonna keep tuning into that because there's a lot of movies that he was mentioning that I didn't think anyone else had really heard of, and I was like, whoa, that's cool. He actually knows those, because there's a lot of really random old ones out there that's just like, wow, like people would look at him and would never pick him up, but he picks up like everything. It's ridiculous, but it was a pretty cool show. So Odorous was on there, and people were tweeting about it, and Odorous was like, yeah, I can't believe I'm getting so much so much hate for this. I never got this much hate when I was on Fox when he was doing the red eye thing, which was fucking hilarious. If you haven't checked it out, you need to go check out Odorous on Fox News' red eye thing. That shit was, oh man, I sat there and watched all of them one day, and I could not stop laughing. It was great. Odorous always, he knows exactly what to say to make you laugh. I mean, he's just a funny ass character. But yeah, so he was on there and he was talking about how his fans are fucking talking shit about us and stuff, and I saw some kid message his tweet or whatever and was like, I really hope Guar doesn't support Juggalos, and so I mentioned, I replied to that kid, and I was like, you do know Guar played the Gathering of the Juggalos, right? I believe it was 010. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Kind of pissed I missed that one, but yeah, I've seen footage of it. It looked awesome. Having Guar play at like 3 or 4 in the morning or whatever it was, I would have gone to the tent and watched him. But yeah, so he's just like, really? I did not know that. Now removing Guar sticker from my car. I was like, really? He's like, you're one pathetic excuse for a music fan if you really fucking are gonna take a sticker off of your car just because they associate with us. Like, are you kidding me? Not only is it a big ass festival for fucking music, you dumb shit. Second, it's two groups that are very theatrical, and I think it's a great mix. I mean, yes, so Guar is a pretty heavy metal band, and ICP is a fucking rap group, but so fucking what? I mean, they have live bands play there all the time. Kitties toured with them. I saw them on the Happy Days tour. and that was the shit. Um, I don't know. I don't even words cannot describe how stupid this guy was. I was like, what the fuck, man? This is why a lot of times, I don't like telling people I'm a metalhead because they think I'm some brain dead drunk douchebag who fucking hates on everything that's not metal, and that's fucking retarded. That kind of mentality needs to fucking stop, and people need to be a little bit more, less judgmental and a lot more open minded. I mean, I may not like, mainstream rap, and I may not like country music, and I may not like, opera or whatever the fuck random ass genres that people, are into, but I'm not gonna go and say that my music is better just because I like it more. I'm just gonna be like, well, this is what I like, so I'm gonna keep listening to it, but go ahead and listen to whatever you want. I'm not gonna tell you that your music is shit and that I'm not gonna, that you shouldn't listen to it or whatever, just because it's different. It's like, that's why I've never understood why people talk shit about, juggalos that like other types of music or other people that are into other types of music that happen to like juggalo music. I don't get it. I really don't understand where the ignorance comes from. Is it the fact that they're two rapping clowns? Is it the fact that they're rap? Is it the fact that it's kind of popular at the moment? It's a I mean it's not really popular, but it's a, big news thing. It's all over the place right now. This last like 2 or 3 years, we've been getting a lot of press and a lot of attention, and so everybody seems to jump on the bandwagon because it's become popular to hate us. When half these metalheads who talk shit probably never heard of them a couple years ago. I've been listening to ICP for 12 fucking years now, and I've been a metalhead for 17 years. I don't I've never seen it as two different things. I've seen it as, what, I really love this band, and I really love these bands. So what the fuck, I'm gonna listen to both of them. So my advice to anybody who's, down with the clown and, a fucking metalhead, you keep doing what you do, fuck everyone else, you know, keep it fucking metal, and much clown love, whoop whoop.